Thought I'd do an updates and downdates video for you. If you find the little secret in this video, then let everyone know where it is in the comments section, and I will pin your comment to the top. Also, go back and watch the Call of Duty Zombies videos, and you'll see that I've left a timestamp showing you one of the secrets in there, and I hope that leads you on a breadcrumb trail to the rest. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while, I know that, and I apologise for that, but it's been a bit crazy here, and I'll explain why in a second. So let's start with Z.Live. Now, Z.Live is almost finished now, so I know it's been a long time coming, but we did have a pandemic in between, and a lot of those things that actually matter because we had to get things like grading done and all sorts of stuff. Now, it's at a point now where I'm very happy with it, and currently looking at things like DVD menus and liner notes and things like that, so the internal artworks. So there's Z.Live On.Shock, which is like the rock concert version. There's Z.Live On.Lock, which is like a very different thing, which is like an almost hour-long radio presentation or recording of a man, a radio presenter back then when everything was activated, and kind of his coming to terms with the utter annihilation going on outside of the walls of the studio for him. And I really like that because I spend my life in solitude basically in a studio, and I have a lot of perspective on what that feels like. Maybe not the annihilation, but well, it felt like it during the pandemic, but yeah, we lost a lot of people during the pandemic, so and on that note, I hope you're all keeping safe and well and all that stuff. Moving on from that, I'm going to do this quickly today. I'm going to try and round it up as quickly as possible. After that, we have the Call of Duty Zombies record. Now, you may have seen the documentary series that we have for that, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But that's about 80% done, that record. I'm currently tracking bass for it and some other kind of more guitar bits that I want to put on it and things like that. And then all we have after that is vocals and mix, and then we're done. So we're getting very close with that, and that's been a really interesting thing. I'd say that all of the songs that are just different from the originals, they're not necessarily better, they're just different. And like, we have a full symphonic orchestra on 4 of the songs, which, I mean, Treyarch couldn't even do that. I mean, we're talking about a 64-piece orchestra on some of the songs, like Dev Flowers, Lullaby 1. So there's a lot. Oh, Game Over has bits as well, actually, so there's 5 technically. So there's the only songs that have really changed with the original kind of 4 songs, which changed dramatically because they weren't great. So I've kind of made them more my own and stripped the bits I didn't like, added bits that I did like, things like that. So that's that, and that's coming soon. We then have, during the pandemic, I tried to flex my kind of production muscles and see what I could do. So I looked over some old EPs. We've got two down EPs that are going to be coming back at you as kind of 2021 versions. They've got no re-recorded parts, they're just mixed differently, and kind of parts that I had muted before just unmuted and things like that. But it's all the original content, just done how I would do it now basically. So two down EPs, and then we have this obscure little Tragedy of Time, is that right? Yeah. EP, and you won't have heard of it. It's like a 4-track EP from years ago that I've redone, and that's really good. And that was another thing where as soon as I began, I just deleted the whole thing and started again as I would now. So all brand new drums, bass, guitars, vocals, the whole thing is totally different. Just to see where I could take it now, you know. There'll all be free releases. In fact, we're looking at making everything I heard free from now on, because why not? You know, I don't really give a fuck. But if it gets to more people, then that's brilliant. So then after that, we have a little project coming at Christmas. Now, I'm a Christmas what the fuck? I don't even know what word that was. I'm obviously not a Christian. It's almost sick then. I said Christian. Whew. I'm a Christmasist. So I like Christmas, apparently. Yes. And so what we're going to do is get a massive tree, and we're going to lace it with, I was going to say ketamine. We're going to lace this tree. I keep thinking of drugs. We're going to put the things on the tree to decorate the tree. And then what we're going to do is play music around that tree. I don't know why. I'm kind of making it up on the spot. But play music, live music around that tree with a little audience. If you want to come, let me know. An audience of like 12, maybe 16 people we can fit in there. Film the whole thing, and we'll put it out at Christmas time, and merry fuck. And then The last couple of things I just want to quickly talk about are we have a full-time social media person now who is doing social media person things. So hopefully you'll see more social media person content from me. And that leads me on to the last thing, which is probably the most important thing, which is we're starting a Patreon. Now, in the Hurt Records Street team, we have another group called the Hurt Records Promotional Group, and we had a few calls a while ago, and we were talking about things we could do. And the guys mentioned they'd like to do a Patreon for Hurt Records, and you know, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't immediately sick into my hands, but it was fine. Didn't really understand Patreon. I don't really understand it now. But from what I can tell, all I've got to do is record footage, which is fine because I've got a camera here, there, and there. And we can record what I do every day, and then you can see that as and when. Because we did live streams before, but because of time differences and the fact that 40% of my audience is American Canadian, that's always going to be a bit of an issue doing live streams. It's always boring watching a live stream after it's live. You want to be able to interact with the person if you're watching a live stream. So we'll do like video content for you all the time. I've got no problem with that at all. We do things like calls, or I could do production breakdowns of your songs and give you fully fledged notes of what I would have done, and or even help you with that. I don't give a fuck. So that's something that we're going to do. So if you're interested in the Patreon, then keep an eye on what's going on the socials, and we'll tell you more about that. If you've got ideas for tiers of the Patreon, then let me know, because we're trying to come up with as much kind of ideas and as much content as possible for that to make you all happy. And the money that we'll earn through that Patreon will be given to an editor so that these videos can be edited and come to you. So the money you give will allow you to have more content from me. So that's all, because I have so much content that I'm just kind of sat on that I've never done anything with, from all of Z1, 2, 3, and 4 documentaries. We've had basically a behind-the-scenes thing of everything we've ever done that's never been edited. So that would be nice to be able to finally be able to see all that stuff. So anyway, guys, I appreciate that, and I think that's it. I hope you're all keeping well and safe and COVID secure, and we will see you in the next one. Fuck you if you're an anti-vaxxer.